Elite Dark Bounty options. Hi everybody, welcome to a part 2 to the part 1 video where we covered some of the ones for the various bounty mission paths, and of course there was 12 paths. With here, thankfully there's only 4, so I can make this as a shorter video. Thank the Lord, because I wanted to make this as kind of like more of a shorter video. Anyway, what are going to be some of the best options? Well, we'll start off with path 1, Mangog. My personal advice to this is don't bring a debuff purifier, debuff shrugger, because you get degened as part of cold turkey. Now, you can't be helped if anything happens where you bring in a purifier or cleanse champion, but that is a bit of an issue. Of course, the defender being special lock and power, steal, burn, and drain and lock immune doesn't mean anything. There's no point to it. You're going to get hit by a special, or that he's going to get to an SP1, get unstoppable, build up his fear, whatever it is. So taking that down is going to be more focused on your slow debuff based options, but also depending on what you like or don't like, dazed and confused, and how you play. If you want to play easy, you're going to be doing some blocks. That means you're going to trigger miss. I like to look at stuff that becomes a frustration and make it easier. The easier thing is to go, let's focus on the pain point for me. The pain point being dazed and confused. The pain point being miss. So what have you got to do? Find miss counters. There are plenty of options to take in for miss counters. Deathless She-Hulk is one of them. As part of her fear, she's able to counter miss, which is great. There's also another option which I didn't consider for a little while, and that is bullseye. Not the quintessential option you kind of go, oh, I would love to use this against this champion or that champion, but bullseye is a miss counter in his own right, so that can take on dazed and confused. The champion as part of Dazed and Confused should, if I'm right, have Falter as part of his... Yes, he does. Falter. You might want to bring in Prowler because he's able to deal with and counter. He's immune to Falter, so that could be, again, another option to take that down. One of my favourable options for this is going to be Silk, so Silk could be another option, but don't underestimate Mega Sentinel and Photon as Mist-based counters if you're so interested in that. Otherwise, any strong Mystic-based champion will quite happily take down Mangog. And by the way, similar to the previous video, write-up is in the description. You can return back to it if you're looking for options to take on the different paths. Anyway, and I will probably do like individual fight breakdowns themselves, testing out some of these champions in the coming weeks. But I wanted to throw it out there first, so you might be thinking about like who to use, but also have a resource that you can return back to, and I can add more iterations as we go on. Anyway, Adam Warlock counters. This, on the face of it, does look a little bit confusing, especially with use it or lose it, sensing souls, usurpation, and special burst lockdown. Mainly with the first 3 because it just looks a bit convoluted. Anyway, it's all power, baby. When you fill a bar of power, throw a special attack for use it or lose it, or take damage. Yeah, that's kind of it. Like, just use it or lose it and be spanked as a result. So you'll collect it organically, power through usurpation, and how you pick and choose how you want to take this down. A lot of Mystic champions could very much do this. But also, you may feel frustrations around that power going from you, popping and destroying you. So I personally, I'm going to be focusing a lot more on use it or lose it as part of how max power is instantly drained. And the champions that will be able to counter this for power control immunity put us back in the realms of something we discussed earlier. Well, we take Galan, we take, I think it was Vox, and we expand it into other power control champions, power control immune champions, like Beta Ray Bill, Gladiator, Hulkling, King Groot, Deathless, as part of that use it or lose it type problem. So focus on what is going to be a frustration to you, and for me, it will be use it or lose it. For you, it may be something, the usurpation, the sensing souls, yeah. Kind of focus in on those aspects. If we then go over to Strife has a very easy counter for it. Now you've got Now You See Me, Falter debuff, you've got Arc Overload, so again we've got an armor up buff. Would you want to have a counter to buffs? Maybe. Each armor up buff gives the defender 15% chance to glance as sloped armor. So there's a lot of things there that could be a little bit frustrating. You might want to break it down to what is actually going to be frustrating about it. There's a great count in shape and form of Hercules. One thing that you could do is take in Hercules, again down to a personal preference of who wants to do what. Take in Hercules, and as part of the Cap Infinity War armor break synergy, you could bring that in, and therefore do a armor break when you are getting when you're completing a feat of strength to inflict it. That could allow you to kind of counter it, the armor up, which then of course reduces down a pain point, and as well applies a miscounter with the SP1 and True Sense that the champion gets, Hercules gets. Or you could look at it in a different way and go, okay, well, class disadvantage, go for bullseye. Serpent with his true focus, a Mega Sentinel with tracking, Photon, Human Torch, again good enough options. An interesting standout option could be Magneto. Strife is a hashtag metal champion, so that could be a good counter to that if you're looking for a potential option. Again, more to test, and you could use Deathless She-Hulk with a Fear is active, and as well Prowler with the falter immunity as part of that because of the falter debuff. So that again could be like decent options for it. We're now going to the final fight, which is going to be Mantis. So for Mantis, because she has a Danger Zone, Power Focus, Sharpened Claws with a Bleed, and our old favourite Limber, it does mean you could expand your options to stuff that you may not consider or think would be good options. White Magneto, that pre-fight, that passive parry rears its head again in a positive fashion where you could set that on and use some champions you didn't really consider, especially because you don't really have to worry about Limber. This allows for rotations for things like Mr. Sinister being able to comfortably do his abilities with the with his SP1 and degeneration, if you so choose. You could also use Archangel, which could be another fun option. You could then go into having a hero, because that's the other thing as well. The White Magneto pre-fight's great, but you need a hashtag metal or hashtag hero champion to benefit from it. So you could go to deal with sleep with debuff shruggers like Black Panther Civil War, Chilf, and any other kind of, like, I can't think off the top of my head of skill champions that have a hero and also debuff shrug. But there's villains, you know, there's Kingpin, there's Mole Man, that can be good. I guess it just will depend on dealing with, as well, Sharpened Claws. And if there are any bleed immune champions, you could use them. Mega Sentinel could be another good option. Hashtag metal champion, but also could deal with the Sharpened Claws. Again, down to what you have. Down to what you don't like about the champion. The fight to the nodes. Is it Limber? Is it Sharpened Claws with a bleed? Is it going to be the Power Focus? Is it going to be Danger Zone? Nick Fury can work here. Professor X would work very well here. You just got to watch out for sleep, and also watch out when you throw your special attacks when it expires. So, and also you could be quite aggressive and just use Archangel. It depends on what you got. And again, is the sleep aspect of Mantis a frustration? Is it not? How do you counter that? Do you do that around when you throw your special attacks as to when sleep expires? Do you do that instead with some sort of just rotation? I'm more of a fan of throwing special attacks through the cycle part when it's like just about to expire and you're about to go to sleep. I throw a special attack right to the end of that because it means that it just resets, and try to keep it like just over to nearly 2 bars of power, not completely 2 bars, but just about there, just so I can get my SP1 right and round, and then do that again very quickly and build up. So I'm not doing SP2s, I'm doing SP1s. I'm making sure the sleep kind of expires, then I'm just about to expire, then I throw a special attack. So I'm always getting that rotation in, so I'm not under sleep. Nearly got it. Nearly explained it well enough. Anyway, that's the options. Those are my recommendations. Of course, more to add. Thank you very much for watching this video. Good luck in today's Elite Bounty mission, and of course the bounty missions. Check out some of the other videos. I'll see you soon. Have a lovely day. Goodbye.